Welcome to day whatever of the coronavirus quarantine. Today I'm going to read a story, but first I want to introduce my kids.
Hi, my name's Edward. I'm 7 and I go to Webster School. My grade is first. So I hope you enjoy this book.
Hi, my name is Mason. I'm 5 and I go to St. Peter's and I hope you enjoy this book.
Great, and who are you?
I'm Katie and this is my sister and brother and this is my mom reading the book.
Great.
And I hope my mom...
Okay, you don't have to say...
It's okay, you guys sit down next to me, okay? And this is how it goes. Mike Mulligan and His Steam Shovel by Virginia Lee Burton.
I'm sitting up.
Have you heard of this book? It's awesome.
I'm sitting up.
Yeah, you can sit up there. Okay, guys, let's see what this story is all about. It's an oldie but goodie.
Dad, you have me in.
Ready?
Dad, you have me in.
Mike Mulligan had a steam shovel, a beautiful red steam shovel. Her name was Mary Ann. Mike Mulligan was very proud of Mary Ann. He always said that she could dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week, but he had never been quite sure that this was true. I know, I have to show you the pictures and the camera, okay? Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had been digging together for years and years. Mike Mulligan took such good care of Mary Ann, she never grew old. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the great canals for the big boats to sail through. There are a lot of big canals, right, guys? It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who cut through the high mountains so the trains could go through. Hey, watch out.
Katie, we have to...
No, we're good. We're going to keep going. No, you're not going to do sign language. I need you to sit nicely if you're going to be on TV.
Guys.
It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who lowered the hills and straightened the curves to make the long highways for the automobiles. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who smoothed out the ground and filled in the holes to make landing fields for the airport. This is exciting. And it was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the deep holes for the cellars of the tall skyscrapers in the big cities, right, like Boston or New York. When people used to stop and watch them, Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann used to dig a little faster and a little better. The more people stopped, the faster and better they dug. Some days they would keep as many as 37 trucks busy taking away the dirt that they had dug. Then along came the new gasoline shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels and took all the jobs away from the steam shovels. That's sad. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann were very sad. Hey, Macy and Katie, if you don't want to listen to this story, you can go and play in the other room, or you have to be quiet, okay? All the other steam shovels were being sold for junk or left out in old gravel pits to rust and fall apart. Mike loved Mary Ann. He could not do that to her. He had taken such good care of her that she could still dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. At least he thought she could, but he wasn't quite sure. Everywhere they went, the new gas shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels all had jobs. No one wanted Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann anymore. Then one day, Mike read in the newspaper that the town of Popperville was going to build a new town hall. "We're going to dig the cellar of that town hall," said Mike to Mary Ann, and off they started. They left the canals and the railroads and the highways and the airports and the big cities where no one wanted them anymore, and they went out into the country. They crawled along slowly up the hills and down the hills till they came to the little town of Popperville. Here, Mace, you can sit with me. Sit behind me so you can see the pages. When they got there, they found out that the selectmen were just deciding who should dig the cellar for the new town hall. Mike Mulligan spoke to Henry B. Swap, one of the selectmen. "I heard," he said, "that you were going to build a new town hall. Mary Ann and I would like to dig the cellar for you in just one day." "What?" said Henry B. Swap. "Dig a cellar in a day? It would take 100 men and at least a week to dig a cellar for our new town hall." "Sure," said Mike, "but Mary Ann can dig as much in a day as 100 men can dig in a week," though he had never been quite sure that that was true. Then he added, "If we can't do it, you don't have to pay us." Henry B. Swap thought that would be an easy way to get part of the cellar dug for nothing, so he smiled in a rather mean way. How do you smile in a mean way?
Like this.
Yeah. And he gave the job of digging the cellar to the new town hall to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. I don't want to skip any pages for anyone who's counting. They started in early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. Soon, a little boy came along. "Do you think you will finish by sundown?" he said to Mike Mulligan. "Sure," said Mike. "If you stay and watch us, we always work faster and better when someone is watching us." So the little boy stayed to watch. Then Mrs. McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, and the town constable came over to see what was happening, and they stayed to watch. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug a little faster and a little better. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman of the morning mail, the telegraph boy on his bicycle, the milkman with his cart and horse, the doctor on his way home, and the farmer and his family coming into town for the day, and they all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better. They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher. That means the day is passing, right? Clang, 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 the fire department arrived. They had seen the smoke and thought there was a fire. Then the little boy said, "Why don't you stay and watch?" So the fire department of Popperville stayed to watch Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. When they heard the fire engine, the children in the school across the street could not keep their eyes on their lessons. The teacher called a long recess and the whole school came out to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better. They finished the second corner neat and square, but the sun was right up in the top of the sky. That means it was noon, halfway through the day. Now, the girl who answers the telephone called up the next towns of Bangerville and Bopperville and Kipperville and Copperville and told them what was happening in Popperville. All the people came over to see if Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel, Mary Ann, could dig the cellar in just one day. The more people that came, the faster Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug. But they would have to hurry. They were only halfway through and the sun was beginning to go down. They finished the third corner, neat and square. Let's see what's happening. Never had Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had so many people watch them. Never had they dug so fast and so well, and never had the sun seemed to go down so fast. "Hurry, Mike Mulligan, hurry," shouted the little boy. "There's not much more time." Dirt was flying everywhere, and the smoke and the steam were so thick that people could hardly see anything. But listen, bang, bang, crash, slam, louder and louder, faster and faster. You think they can do it?
No, do you?
I don't know. What do you think? Then suddenly it was quiet. Slowly, the dirt settled down, the smoke and the steam cleared away, and there was the cellar, all finished. 4 corners, neat and square, 4 walls straight down. And Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann at the bottom. And the sun was just going down behind the hill. "Hooray!" shouted the people. "Hooray for Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. They have dug the cellar in just one day." Suddenly, the little boy said, "How are they going to get out?" "That's right," said Mrs. McGillicuddy to Henry B. Swap. "How is he going to get his steam shovel out?" Henry B. Swap didn't answer, but he smiled in a rather mean way. Then everybody said, "How are they going to get out?" "Hi, Mike Mulligan, how are you going to get your steam shovel out?" Mike Mulligan looked around at the 4 square walls and the 4 square corners, and he said, "We've dug so fast and we've dug so well that we've quite forgotten to leave a way out." Nothing like this had ever happened to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann before, and they didn't know what to do. They're stuck.
I could use a ladder.
Yeah, but how do they get the big machine out? Ooh. Nothing like this had ever happened before in Popperville. Everyone started talking at once, and everyone had a different idea, and everyone thought that his idea was the best. They talked and they talked and they argued and they fought till they were worn out, and still no one knew how to get Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann out of the cellar they had dug. Then Henry B. Swap said, "The job isn't finished because Mary Ann isn't out of the cellar, so Mike Mulligan, you won't get paid." And he smiled again in a rather mean way. Now, the little boy, who had been keeping very quiet, had another good idea. He said, "Why couldn't we leave Mary Ann in the cellar and build the new town hall over her? Let her be the furnace for the new town hall, and let Mike Mulligan be the janitor. Then you wouldn't have to buy a new furnace, and we could pay Mike Mulligan for digging the cellar in just one day."